This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in places that could expose you to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, their US-based restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by regret and bad choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. Objects, I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
You know, but
You're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
La, 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 la.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now.
All right, everyone. Hey, guys. Hang on a second. Welcome to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. Do you think we'd be... Is there any copyright violations for the circus music? Go ahead. Can you do it? There we go. This is how our night's going so far. Okay, so all right, bring down the circus music. What is it? The saber dance, you said?
The saber dance.
Okay, I know what it is, but I guess I didn't know what the name of it was. But okay, so everyone who has been waiting patiently
for all two of us.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because I have been promoting this throughout the week.
Uh-huh.
The gentleman, Rob and Larry from Recovery Unfiltered, the podcast, were scheduled to come on tonight. We had
Hell, we talked to him for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, actually, we were 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case was. Technology things, what they're going to try to do, not that it really matters for anyone else out there, but they want to record while we're recording. The studios didn't mash. We're going to figure it out. We're going to do it again to make it right. So it's us.
Yeah, right. We'll get back to them next year.
Yeah, exactly. Because you and I are going to record. We're recording next Thursday, right? You and I?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to. That was kind of like please because seeing as I'll get into the whole reason for that in a little bit. Now we got fucking time. I got a lot of stuff I could talk about.
Right. No, actually we don't because, we're already 26 minutes into this. No way. We're not.
Yeah, I should have just started recording that fucking, our little fucking mess on the way in. That would have been kind of funny. But anyhow, no. Mike's exact words after when Larry finally texted me and he's like, you guys just go ahead. And he goes, those guys sound like fun once we can get them on. So
right.
I think we will. It's going to be it'll be a great conversation. It'll be a lot of fun, and they're working on their end. It just whatever it is. Studios didn't match, and we're going to figure out how to. They will figure out how to get it done. Because you know what, we know how our shit works.
Clearly, we're high.
Yeah. So Rob and Larry, if you're listening, remember, keep it simple, man. It's okay. It's okay. But so I got a couple of questions because in the while we were waiting, I brought up the song, the whole Heinz ketchup commercial thing with Anticipation, Carly Simon, and all that. You and I, Mike and I, have known each other.
Wait,
right, Mike?
Hang on. Carly Simon or Carole King? God damn it! Now I'm fucked up. See, I'm all confused. Hang on a second.
now.
Okay, yeah, you can look it up, but then I'll say what I was going to say and the point that we got on, and then we can correct ourselves and talk about Carole King if that's who it is. But so the song we figured out, it's a ketchup commercial, the anticipation, making me wait, blah blah blah,
Okay,
and
so I was right. It is Carly Simon.
okay, so yeah, Mike said Carly Simon, and I mean, we talk about music a lot. Usually it's about people you hate, and that's how our conversations come up. So almost timidly, because I do like Carly Simon, I'm like, "Do you like Carly Simon?" And your answer was,
Well, I was thinking of Carole King, so it didn't actually apply. That's why I confused myself.
"Oh, okay, okay,
Right. Yes, Carly Simon is good too. It's a
okay."
wonderful line in WKRP, my favorite TV show of all time, where Venus and Johnny go, "Hey, let's go back and look at Carly Simon album covers."
Yeah, you know what? What's funny is I think, and I don't know if it was when you and I were at the record store, but I bought I bought a Carly Simon record. I have it not here with me, but I have it. And yeah, when you look at the cover, I'm like, God damn,
Mhm.
she's kind of fucking hot.
Right. And
And
she
that was
generally takes those pictures when it's cold out.
the number one thing I noticed. I'm like, oh yeah, she's pretty too, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's happy to see me, and I was happy to see her
Stand up
too.
and salute.
Hi there. But yeah, so that was a kind of little bit of a side conversation that we had. But back to the basics here. We will have them on, not tonight. It is what it is, and yeah, we're going to move on. But here's the funny part. When we have a guest on, for every once in a while, I wouldn't print off, the sheets that I have. It's usually a couple of sheets, whatever it is, and I got plenty of shit
Mhm.
all the time. But then I started printing them off even when he had a guest, so I could make, either way, I might want to make a note about something, or kind of a note to myself as we're talking.
Mhm.
And then it's turned out, a couple of times when we've had guests that I have the sheets because guess what? I fucking need them now,
Uh-huh.
But so in all this little rambling that we've done over the last literally 5 minutes now, thank you very much.
Mhm.
Did you grab your book by chance, or do you want
It's
to do
sitting next to me.
it? See, I was trying to kill a little bit of time, but just kind of peeling back the curtain for everyone. I was also hopefully giving you time to grab your book because I think you want to do a reading, maybe.
Well,
Yes.
I guess we have to now, don't we?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the funny part. So, did you listen to in another side note, Mark Maron's podcast with the she's a TikTok sensation, newer one from Monday,
Nah.
Bobby something or other. Okay.
Nah.
So he said, and I listened to it and it was interesting. She's in her late 20s or something like that, but
Mhm.
blew up on TikTok, this and that, has this podcast that she started off kind of making fun of the whole thing. But part of what she was talking about, she goes, part of me, she goes, I really like, doing things for myself and this and that. But she goes, every once in a while, it'd be nice to have a boss and not so much pressure. But
Mhm.
Mark was saying that he goes, yeah, but like every once in a while, it's nice that he goes, you don't have to ask anyone what to do,
Right.
And that's what I was just, it reminded me of when you said we have to. I'm like, we don't
Mhm.
fucking have to do
No, we don't
anything.
have to. Right.
We have, you know what? Nobody's the boss of us, God damn it. But,
That's right. Well, I
but
could hit a button here and go away.
but yeah, it's I would love a reading though. I think it's always a wonderful way to kill some time, if nothing else. And you know what? God damn it! Now that we've disappointed our listeners by not having,
We've disappointed them by showing up.
yeah, by just having it be us again. It's fucking you again. This is like getting a film strip. I have to walk in and see a goddamn film strip on. I
Right.
don't know, whatever.
Substitute teacher. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. They load up the film strip and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when
All
you're
right.
expecting something fun, right?
All right. Well, this was actually I saw you posted this one a day or so ago. Right. It's December 9th, and since it is Christmas week, I've already said on here I'm not participating, and I'm not. But what the hell? All you motherfuckers out there probably are. So this is December 9th, and we may have done this one last year, but fuck you, we're doing it again.
Right.
All right, here we go. One reason that I don't drink is that I want to know when I'm having a good time. Mary Astor. Wait, Nancy Astor. I don't know, some Astor. All right. And I didn't look her up because I wasn't planning on reading this. All right, here we go. believe she was an actress. All right, like a million years ago. Holiday seasons can be dangerous times for us addicts. We gather more often with family and friends, and in some of these groups, people drink alcohol. They offer us alcohol. They look as if they're having a good time. It's tempting to join in the drinking. However, it's time to remember why we don't drink. We won't drink, even on holidays, unless we want back all the things that went with our drinking or using. What were those things again? Ah, yes. Embarrassing scenes, apologies the next day, waking up in strange places, losing the car again, hangovers, arguments. Now we can actually enjoy the holidays and use them as a chance to connect with people we care about. We can create meaningful rituals and celebrations that add joy to our holidays and create good memories. Prayer for the day. Higher power, help me to enjoy the holidays as a special spiritual time to enjoy my own relationship with you, with myself, and with the special people in my life. Today's action, those pesky actions. Today, I will make a list of things to do to celebrate the season. These could include taking the children in my life, caroling, lighting the Hanukkah menorah each evening, or connecting with the people I love. It's important to stay in touch with my sponsor because this time of year won't always be easy.
All right. So let's look at it this way. Since you're boycotting the Christmas holiday, let's
Yeah.
just look at this as a holiday could be anything. It could be a holiday weekend, whatever. It's kind of like, let's treat this as a power greater than yourself. We're just going to say a holiday circumstance, right? How about festive situation?
Festivus?
Well,
Get out the aluminum pole?
But see, that rolls us back into the holidays, which you don't want to do. So
right.
Just say a festive occasion where there could be alcohol involved, because we run across those
right.
throughout the year anyhow. But
right.
So, I mean, a couple of things. And I do know, I guess we talk about this every time a holiday weekend comes up, whatever it's been. It doesn't have to be, this thing. And I've got a question. Hang on one second. I'm going to, I need to write this down real quick because this keeps passing over and through my brain. And I'm going to ask, okay, I'll ask it in a minute. But so every single time there's a holiday, 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, blah, blah, blah. What
Arbor Day.
Cinco de Mayo, anything like that. We say just another day, but you say it even better. It's right. Just another whatever.
It's just another day, right? One day at a time, man. It's just another day. Again, the seasonal, and I'm really feeling it this year. The societal pressures of, you have to celebrate. This is important. It's not. It's another fucking day. It is, and I mean, if it means something to you on a deeper level, cool, go celebrate it, man. That's what this, that's what the reading was talking about, and that's great. Do it if you could do it and make better for the people around you. Therefore, it's better for you. Great, do it. I can't this year, so I'm not. But yes, it is just another day. And hey, guess what? The 26th, Boxing Day, will be just another day. If you're Canadian, it means something to you. British. Right. And then same with, we'll, I'm sure talk about it next week, but the big New Year's Eve amateur hour, all that, it doesn't matter. And then guess what? It's going to be the 2nd of January. And, either you're going back to work or you've got an extra couple of days off or whatever, man. It's again, just another day, one day at a time. I do the same shit every day to keep myself sober. I will do it on the 24th. I will do it on the 25th, and I will do it on the 26th. More than likely. I know I did it today on the 20th.
Right. And if it's the I don't know, the 10th of March, I would assume your plan, we're not going to,
Mhm.
throw things ahead, but
Right.
on the 10th of March, if you make it that long and you
Right.
haven't drank yet, or gone completely out of your fucking mind, more so, I'm guessing you'll do the same thing that you did today. At least that would be your intention, right?
Yeah, well, it's what I did on the 10th of March last year, and the year
Right.
before, the year before that. Right.
And the year before that, let's
Yeah.
count it back. Fuck, I think we got enough years in there. But and that is really the point. But I get it. In this year, I don't know. Even the last, probably and we were talking about it last week. It's been a number of years since the entire family, and you included, have got together.
Right.
As,
Right.
Johnny's, and we're out in Cleveland. We used to do all that big thing, and that happened
Right.
for a number of years, and it was cool.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care that it was Christmas. We did that 4th of July weekend the one time when everyone got together.
Right.
We did that, Kylie's graduation. Yes, that was for a reason, but everyone came here.
Right.
So the coolest part was, yes, the event, and congratulations to Kylie and whatever the fuck all we're doing around any place at any time. But it's this, big gathering of people, But so it's been a while for that. But the thing of it is, like this year, Christmas Eve, I'm driving up to Wisconsin. I'm going to have lunch with my kids, and Kimmy and Kimmy and Ollie are coming down. I think Brian's got to work. Derek and Katie have something going on, I think, with her grandmother or grandpa's house, whatever it is. So they're like, can we do it a little bit earlier? We're going to, meet up in Fond du Lac, which is like an hour from Germantown. Because I said, will that make it easier for Kimmy? And she's like, you got to drive. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Because I don't,
Right.
But I need to leave here at like fucking 7:00 in the morning on Christmas Eve to facilitate all this. And I'm like, well, shit, it's still a fucking work day for some people.
Right.
It could be a
I'm
3 hour.
working.
Yeah, it could be a 3-hour fucking drive,
Right.
Rather than 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But you know what? The thing of it is, I'm going to have lunch with my kids.
Yep.
And yes, it's Christmas Eve because everyone's available, but it could have been a random Sunday in May.
Yeah, exactly.
but I mean, I get it. The point though is that I completely understand that there's a lot of people that first year, we've talked about, we made specific plans. We talked to specific people. It was very forefront in our mind of what we did around this. We went through all, we got sober in April. So all these fucking holidays. Think about it, people, all the holidays between April and the end of the year. There's a fucking lot of them, and we went through those all in the first, 9 months.
Right.
But the biggest thing is for anyone out there, it's just another day. Mike already said it, always says it. Always have a plan. Whatever that plan is, have one. Take somebody with you if you can that's sober.
Yep.
Drive yourself, so you can fucking leave if you need to. Even if you need to say, oh, I'm really not feeling good, and fucking go. But here's the thing that kind of gets me, and temptation to join in and is one thing that's on us,
Yeah, absolutely.
But the offer us alcohol, okay? Here's my opinion. If you are in a place where you have to be afraid or even concerned that somebody will offer you alcohol, you're in the wrong place.
Right.
Okay, that's it. Because if you're there, if you're at a place where people don't know what your deal is, you're already putting yourself in a weird circumstance.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I've had work events and whatever. It's none of their fucking business that I have to, obviously, just, I'm good. That's my answer. I'm good. Fine.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I say I don't drink, and it's usually that's enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, and I know we've talked about it, but you don't have to, it's nobody's fucking business if you don't want it to be. I guess that's the biggest thing. But whatever you want to say. I mean, Mike says I don't drink. What I always said, somebody's, hey, can I grab you a beer? Can I grab you a drink? I always to this day, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Or I'll grab a soda, or I'll tell them specifically what I want.
Right.
I'd like a water, or I want a soda. Then I go with them to make sure I'm getting a water or a soda. I don't let somebody go get me a fucking drink ever.
Right.
I don't know what the hell somebody's giving me. Not that they're doing it on purpose, but somebody could make a mistake.
Yeah. I believe we've talked about personal responsibility on here once or twice. And yeah, exactly. That's part of it too. Yeah. I'm responsible to make sure my beverage is something that I can take into my body.
Right. Yeah. And, I always go back to Jody and James's wedding, when I'm drinking Diet Coke and, I set it down. I was taking it everywhere with me because it's just in a plastic cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I set it down once or maybe twice. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go get a
Mm-hmm.
different one because I don't
Yeah.
know.
Right.
I don't know that that's mine. I
Right.
think this is where I left it.
Mm-hmm.
But once again,
Is that my shade of lipstick on it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I could have just worn my purple lipstick. Oh, I should have worn my glow in the dark lipstick because at the the reception time, lights go down a little bit.
Right.
But yeah,
now it's a party.
It is. It's our responsibility, to make sure that we're in a good circumstance. But the main thing is yes, holidays can be whatever they are. But I don't know that. If nothing else that anyone can take from this rambling that we've done for the last 10 minutes is that you don't have to go. Mike said that before, but the biggest thing is that you don't need to make a big fucking production out of it. Just because everyone's out there ripping and roaring and doing whatever they're doing, you do not have to be involved. You don't. If it's a big deal, it's because again, personal responsibility.
Yep.
We put ourselves in the circumstance for it to be a big deal when it didn't need to be.
Right. Yeah. And if it's going to be that big of a deal, sit it out for a year, man. If you're not ready for it, sit it out. So you will be ready for it the following year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, the other thing too is if you got, I don't care if you've got, 30 days or 3,000 days, you don't want to go into December 26th with one.
Right.
or zero, you're starting, day December 26th doesn't need to be your day one. Fuck day one.
Yep.
Whatever you've got, 3 weeks, 30 days, 30 years. You worked for every goddamn one of them. Don't start over just for some stupid fucking holiday.
Right. Santa Claus.
Yeah. Fucking Santa Claus made me do it. The fat man made me drink.
That's right. The elf on the shelf fucked me up.
I was triggered by the elf on the shelf.
Bastard.
Fucking bastard. But yeah, no, I mean that reading in general though, that reading literally, if you took out anything that even it's kind of like the steps, the whole thing with alcohol's not in any of the steps except for the first one or the word alcohol.
Right.
If you took out, the holidays or whatever, that reading could be, you could read that every fucking day, and that's how we could or should live our lives, right?
That's why I'm not feeling bad about not participating this year. It's just like, it's another day, man. It is truly the way I live my life. I'm not blowing smoke up you people's asses. Not in this case anyway.
Right. And that's the thing too, is that, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Christmas or anything like that. If you don't feel like, participating, you don't fucking have to,
Right.
Again, we started off the podcast with this in the first few minutes. Nobody's the boss of fucking us. When we
That's right.
For that sort of stuff, at least.
Freedom, baby.
Yeah, there is some fucking freedom in that shit, isn't there? So, but yeah, kind of up until, we had planned this whole, getting together the Christmas Eve thing. So I was just asking the kids. I'm like, I didn't know what everyone was up to. And, like I said, Kimmy and Brian doing their thing. And so we decided on the, and I think I mentioned at least a couple weeks ago that we decided to do it, but hadn't even thought about where to eat. This morning I'm in fucking taking a shower and washing my hair and of course my balls. And I'm like, I gotta figure out where to go to eat.
The hair on your balls.
Right. You got to wash all the hair, the hair between your ass cheeks, the whole bit. But I'm like, I don't know, we haven't even figured out where to eat. So I just looked up, I'm like, hamburger joints. Cause you could usually get some decent, hamburger restaurants.
Right.
Just found this random restaurant, but it looks kind of nice, nothing out of the ordinary, but, not super expensive, but probably $10 to $12 to maybe $13 burgers. Like when you and I went to that, when you were up by me and we went to that bar restaurant.
Yeah.
I told you that, it was burgers like that, Wisconsin, whatever that place was.
Yeah. Right. Well,
again,
with that place we went in Akron that time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
there's a bar. But but they had really fucking great hamburgers.
Yeah, and they're they're $12, $13, $14 for a hamburger, but they're worth every fucking penny of them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're gonna do. And like I said, I got to leave it on some ungodly hour. What the fuck do I care? I get to hang out with my kids, and I found Ali a couple of things and chipped in on another big gift for the for him. With Kimmy and Brian, and that's a fun part. Now I got to ask the kids. Literally, I in a text message, I'm like, so you guys want anything for Christmas? I'm like, if you do, let me know. You know.
Right.
So Kimmy let me know something for her and Brian and then Derek and Katie to get back to me, and I'll fucking figure it out.
Mhm.
Derek and I were talking about that when we were up there. Got together for Thanksgiving, and I've done, well, you know, I did it with him for years, you know.
Right.
He and I would get together around Christmas. When he'd come out to Ohio, and we'd make a day of it. You know, we go out for lunch, and I'd take him
Right.
shopping, and that's what we
Mhm.
started doing after Dawn and I split up. And I asked him, I'm like, have you liked that all these years? He's like, oh my God, yeah. He goes, it's great. And you know, it's that part of me. I just kind of like, I'm like, oh my God, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's actually, yes, I'm boycotting the holiday, but Monday, the 30th, I've already made plans with my granddaughter and Chris, my girlfriend, and, you know, we're going to go down. My granddaughter and I are going to go down to City Hall and kidnap my girlfriend, and we're going to go out for the day. And yeah, go shopping, do a little shopping, maybe see a movie, go ahead and get a good dinner. Yeah, I'm going to celebrate then. You know, on the 30th of December.
Right. And again, it's just another fucking day.
It is.
You know, you get together with your girls, you know, and that's
Yep.
that's what matters. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it was just one of those things where, I mean, when I started doing that with Derek, I mean, honestly, you know, it's this, just even to this day, I mean, I knew he liked it, but I don't know that we'd ever really talked about it, but literally like a month ago, like, you enjoyed it. He goes, yeah. He goes, I liked it a lot, you know? I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because it would just, we'd go into, you know, whatever it was, Target or whatever store he wanted to go into.
Mhm.
And like, okay, you know, he got, what was it, $50 or $75, whatever. I gave him a dollar amount. And I'm like, whatever
Right.
you want.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing math as we're going through. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
he goes, can I get that? I'm like, I don't care. This, that, and the other. We usually went over whatever it was. But,
Sure.
you know, but I mean, sometimes it would just like, he's like, this is all I want. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll bank the other $20 for whenever you want something else, you know? And
Right.
it wasn't about the cool part was, and
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with the fucking money, you know?
Right.
And I
It's the
liked
time.
yeah. And that's exactly what it was. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the first time we went to Applebee's, and, you know, he's like, he goes, I'm going to get a steak. And I'm like, you need a fucking steak for lunch? It was on like the two for 20 thing. And
Uh-huh.
he goes, why not? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Why not?
Why the fuck not?
And I'm like, you know, I'm like 2 years sober at the time. I'm like, yeah, I can have a fucking steak for lunch if I want a goddamn
Right.
steak for lunch. But you know, it took a 10-year-old to convince me to, or 11-year-old, whatever he was. He's like,
Right.
he just looked at me, just, you know, completely honest. And, well, why not? I'm like, well,
Right.
fuck, I don't know why not.
Throw convention out the window.
I'm like, shit, yeah, we could get a steak for breakfast, for God, yeah, get it with
Right.
eggs, you know. So,
Mhm.
all right, so back to the reading. Anything else in the reading? I mean, I do enjoy the reading, I really do, even though
Right.
it's holiday driven. But anything
Mhm.
else?
No, that's it, man. It's just another fucking day on the calendar, and guess what? The 26th will be as well.
Right. Yeah, and just make sure that you got the same number of days plus one when it hits the 26th. That's the
Yup.
most important thing. Stick to what we do. Right.
Right.
All right. So my side note question. This has to do with Easter, and I'm not religious. Did I ever mention that on here before?
I don't know. Did I ever mention I was an atheist?
Yeah, once maybe, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a, you know, again, at best agnostic, but pretty solidly in the middle, because I don't know what the fuck I believe in.
Mhm.
But the whole thing with Easter, that he is risen. Why
Yeah.
is it not he has risen? Do you know?
Well, I mean, yeah, because I used to believe in that crap. I mean, did I say that out loud on a podcast? No, because it's present tense. It's right. He is still risen. It is still happening. It is still the savior. It's happening. It's as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago, if you're into that sort of thing.
Okay. So why can't we say he be risen? He be risen.
You can. Please
Okay,
do.
that would be the same
with your
thing.
steak.
I'm gonna eat a steak on Easter as he be risen. Okay.
He be risen.
I
He
just-
done rise.
He done be rizzed. Oh, blasphemy, and I love it. I fucking love it. But no, I seriously, it's I don't even know what made me think about that, but I've never understood that. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's bad grammar. And I suppose that now that you explained it to me, I get it sort of, but I don't know. I like he be rizzed.
Yeah.
He done be rizzed.
He got riz with the sizz.
Oh, God damn, that's funny. That is funny. Okay. I think that ends our blasphemy part of the podcast, at least as
Oh,
far as
damn.
I was going to say, at least for the moment. I mean, we never
Okay.
fucking
Stray far.
right. We never fucking promised that. But all right. So this has nothing to do with sobriety. I don't think. Maybe it would, depending on where you've had this. But this was on the morning show. God, probably a few weeks ago. So they have a guy on there. They've been friends with for years. The guy's name is Joel Clayfish. He's on like national wildlife and hunting shows and things like that. And I know you and I, that's not our thing.
Mhm.
But what he does though is he'll come into the studio every once in a while, kind of promoting a show, but he's friends with the guys, so
Mhm.
that's the other thing. But he'll always bring in some sort of food item. It's usually like a pot roast or whatever. But he doesn't tell him what it is. He's like, so he's not only a hunter, but he's this wild game chef also.
Okay. Right.
So they've had crane, I think. No, crane. No, what am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Loon.
Okay.
That apparently is supposed to be like ribeye steak or something like that. They've had all these different things. They've had alligator, they've had snake, they've had all these different things.
Right.
And it's everything that I've heard, obviously how it's prepared, blah blah blah. But it just made me think about it. You, man of the world, it just serious question. I mean,
Yes.
what's the oddest or most, I don't know, out of the way like wild game or meat that you've ever eaten? It's just curious from my end.
I mean, off the top of my head, probably alligator. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, when I was in Japan, there was like little tentacles on the pizza. That was interesting.
Are you shitting me?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
Oh.
right.
Oh. Oh no.
Yeah.
I think I give up our pizza tradition. That's the only way the pizza came.
Right.
Oh, god damn. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what comes to mind. Yeah. Probably alligator and little tentacles on my pizza.
That's fucking terrible. But
Yeah.
I don't really think I've had anything out of the ordinary except for I've had, octopus, I think in whatever, calamari. No, calamari is squid, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so I've had squid, not octopus. My dad one time years ago, and this might have been, I could be wrong, but ground round pops into my head. They had wherever we went, he had a shark steak. And he's like, "This is fucking fabulous."
Yeah.
I think I had a little taste of it, and it did. I mean, it was good. I
Yeah,
don't remember
I've
exactly
had shark, right?
Okay, and then venison. I mean, I've had
yeah.
venison, a
Right.
couple of times, but not even that was even everything that truly is how I think how it's cooked, because the
Right.
couple of times I've had it, I think I've had like venison sausage and like beef jerky type of thing from people. But Mom dated a guy when we were in Pittsburgh. This guy, the first time we ever had it, and when he made it, and apparently we had talked to people after that, because I didn't like it. It
Right.
tasted like really fucking gamey. But I think it was, for everything that I understand, it was probably how it was prepared,
Right.
because it shouldn't taste that way.
No.
Especially a good piece of venison.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to fucking tell.
Yeah. Venison, bison I've had. Shit. I don't know. Yeah. A lot of crap. Squirrel. I had a crazy alcoholic roommate for a while when I was living in California. This dude, I lived in his house. I rented a room. Yeah. He would make squirrel.
Really?
He was Wisconsinite, actually. Wisconsinite. Whatever the hell you people are. Yeah, exactly. Cheesehead motherfucker. Yeah. Pollock from Wisconsin.
Right.
But yeah, he would go out hunting and he'd get squirrels and he'd make them sometimes. Yeah.
So was it, terrible? Decent?
No, it was a little chickeny, little, rabbity, whatever. I've had rabbit too. Yeah, it was fine. He did it with like cream and mushroom sauce, and yeah, it was good.
Interesting. But I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like bison, I see that that's in the grocery store. They have bison meat in the grocery store. But again, that had nothing to do. But you brought it around because you had an alcoholic friend. So look at what we do, everyone. You know what, We didn't plan that.
Well, okay, he was a drunk. I don't know, he had to call himself an alcoholic, and I don't think he ever did. But yeah, he was definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
we gave each other a run for our money. So yeah, we kept up with each other. He kept up with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and out on a limb and say, yeah, he was one of us.
Yeah, unless he could stop on a dime or something like that. But if nothing else, like you said,
I never saw him do.
but like you said, if nothing else, he was a drunk. So
Yep.
there it is. We brought it around to alcohol there. So
Mhm.
okay, again, that was just very just had nothing to do with anything. So all right. So God grant me, what am I do? This is from a while ago. God only knows. God grant me only knows. What am I doing so that I will not be part of the problem? Should I read that again?
Sure, why not?
What am I doing so that I will not be part of the problem? Mike.
Right. Bill. I'm staying sober, being a sober person, being trying to do good, and not necessarily to get good. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, doing all this shit that these people taught me to do, so I'm not a part of the problem. I don't fucking know, man. My life is unmanageable. The fuck do I know? I don't know. I'm just doing this shit these people told me to do. Apparently it's working, but I don't know.
You know what? Every once in a while, those are the questions I never expected. Some of them I do. Some of my questions I ask just to fuck with you, but this wasn't one of them. But I got the same result. I got even better than that. As you started answering it in your head, I know you're like, what the fuck kind of question is this? What does this have to do with anything? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. If I knew, I'd have fucking done it a long time ago. I don't know.
Then you go off with this fucking mini rant, and it's so mild because you're trying to answer the question honestly, but also get frustrated.
Right, because I can't fucking lie. Well, gee, Bill, I'm being an upstanding citizen, paying my taxes and mowing my lawn, and I don't fucking know, man.
And that, that might have been why I wrote it down, because I looked at it, I'm like, I don't fucking know either. Because really, it's just, the only thing that I can do to not be part of the problem is just not be part of the problem. But what does that mean,
Right.
And it's just, if I see, maybe put it this way, if I'm thinking about this, like right off the top of my head, is that I think we know the right thing to do. We know what the next right thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in order to not be part of the problem, we just got to keep doing the next right thing.
Yes.
Stay in our own lanes, try to make our little corner of the world a better place. And, but again, what do we do specifically? I don't know.
I don't fucking know, man.
I don't fucking know,
these cheap little fucking slogans, man. That's all I know.
Yeah. Well, here's another one, like right below it. What have you done for the good of AA or for the good of the recovery community today or this week?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Same answer.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I showed up at my meeting, did my little crap, entered the money we took in, 7-step shit into the book. I don't know. I talked to another drunk, said, yeah, I understand. Here's what I do. Again, that's the shit that they told me to do. I don't understand it.
Well, you just make it easy. Did you hurt anyone this week on purpose?
No.
Okay, there you go. That's probably the easiest way to answer that question.
Right.
And again, like as you started talking, I'm like, God, that's the easy answer. I didn't intentionally. I don't know. Maybe I did hurt somebody this week, but I sure as fuck didn't try.
No. Right.
And if the fact that I don't know that I hurt somebody is probably not, I don't know, it's probably a good thing, because I think I know better. I know if I hurt somebody this week, so
I certainly knew before. I was trying to. I hurt. I'm going to make you hurt too.
Right. Yeah.
So I won't be alone in the world in my pain.
Right. Yeah. Misery isn't that what they say? Misery loves company.
I
believe
that. So. Something like that. Yep. I must be happy because I don't want any fucking company.
Yeah. Exactly. I got one more thing and then we'll take a break, but I'll tell you about my trip coming up too, because I was thinking about that. I won't have a lot of alone time necessarily. I'll have a lot of fucking car time coming up, but okay, this one I wrote down recently, and I kind of like this one, so I guess we'll we'll see what you think about it if you get pissed
All
off
right.
at this one too. All right. So when you first got sober, were you afraid to start feeling things again, or maybe as you started feeling things again, did that scare you or anything like that? I hope that, and I know we kind of joke, sideline joke about feelings or whatever, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, were you afraid to maybe start opening up and feeling things again, or did any of that kind of either scare you or startle you or just I don't know anything like that?
Oh, absolutely. Scared me, made me uncomfortable. All of that. Right. Been trying to ram that shit down all those years. And again, not that not that I'm all that touchy-feely today. Chris is laughing her ass off right now listening to this.
She's there. Tell her I said hi.
No. When she's
Oh.
listening to this.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Anyhow, hi, Chris. Hi,
Yeah,
Chris.
there you go. Yeah, I was gonna say, just fucking say hi. What do you need me for? But yes, of course. How was I going to handle it? What was I going to do? All these feelings are going to flood in. The amazing part wasn't all that bad. And again, part of this program taught me that my feelings weren't all that important. I'm not all that important. So when I did have feelings, I knew that they weren't all that important. And what is important is my actions and doing, as we said, the next right thing, all that good crap. And so yes, I was afraid. Yes, I was uncomfortable. But guess what? I walked through it, didn't fucking kill me. And now I get to not worry about it so much.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know that. I don't think any of that stuff really. I don't think I had preset thoughts about that or
Mhm.
preconceived notions about it. I just think that
Right.
as these things, these things just kept kind of like hitting me. But because there's always something that you haven't done sober.
Right. Right.
To this day, I mean, we've been sober a bit. We've done some things, but
Mhm.
there's always going to be something that pops up, and you're like, well, fuck me, I didn't think about this.
Right.
Whatever the case is, it could be something as simple as you go into a concert at whatever it was, 4 months sober, or
Right.
I mean, the first time I went and played golf sober,
Mhm.
we went to a football game, things like
Right.
that,
Right.
but like when you talk about like romantic feelings, getting into a relationship, maybe having
Mhm.
your heart stepped on a couple of times or
Yeah.
perceived stepped on,
Uh-huh.
not knowing how to deal with that, not knowing how to deal with, a death. I mean, anything like
Right.
that. These are all fucking feelings, obviously, but
Mhm.
I don't know as they came up. I know there's probably three things right off the top of my head that happened. I don't want to say to me, but happened as I was going along this process that I
Mhm.
called you on. I'm like, this fucked me up, and I don't know why.
Mhm.
In two of them, I think I was when I was in Wisconsin. Because I
Right.
remember actually calling you. Others, obviously when we could do it face to face. But
Right.
I'm like, 3, 4 years sober, and something pops up. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, wait a second. I get all this stuff that I know how to do, and like all of a sudden, I just literally got fucking tripped by this thing.
Right.
It made me want to drink ever,
Mhm.
thankfully, but
Right.
yeah, it's weird because I mean, it's not that I don't know, and I've talked about it before, especially on the romantic side of things. I didn't have I had on or off. I didn't have anywhere in between.
Mhm.
I was either like, I didn't care about somebody, or I fucking love you and I want to die for you.
Right.
There was no in between. I mean, it's just like, oh man, I love you.
Mhm.
Which is unhealthy. It's just
Yeah.
fucking,
Right.
it's terrible. But I mean, all that stuff, feelings just for other people, but it's tragedies, it's happiness, being
Mhm.
able to feel joy and
Right.
truly feel joy with somebody. And I mean, I'm
Mhm.
talking about family, your grandkids,
Sure.
or whatever it is.
Right.
Did you see that picture that I posted with Ollie and Santa Claus?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It was a good one.
Uh, I know Kimmy sent me that fucking sly ass look on his face, and then when I texted her, I'm like this one, because she sent me one where he was hugging Santa,
Mhm.
because last year we went to that place in wherever it was in Wisconsin.
Mhm.
He was freaked out by Santa, just cried, didn't want to sit on
Right.
his lap. He did, but
Mhm.
freaking out.
They forced him.
Yeah, he did, to get a picture. But I mean, I think Kimmy and Brian sat with him. They got the picture, whatever. Actually, got a
Right.
good one last year. But this year, that Kimmy sent me the first picture of just he went up and he was fucking
Right.
hugging Santa.
What's up, old man?
Yeah, and then when I saw that picture, I'm like, oh, that's the one. And she goes, yeah. She goes, that was literally right after he told Santa he wanted cookies for Christmas. That's what he wanted. When Santa asked him what he wanted for Christmas, I want cookies.
Well, cookies.
So that was his I want cookies for Christmas look.
Nice.
I'm like, it's just fucking perfect. I loved it. But that sort of thing, to be able to, I mean, literally fall in love with. I mean, I love that kid to begin with, but to just fall into it, just this deeper sense of emotion for this picture,
Right.
I mean, all those things. I don't know. That fucking moon. We say it all the time.
Right.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yep.
The moon, the sunset. I just had a Google Pictures. Do you ever have Google Pictures pop up on your phone saying memories, and it'll show you a bunch of similar pictures or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
No. It's happened a couple times. I go, what the fuck's this shit? And then close it. But yeah.
So it happens actually quite a bit, and I usually don't open them because it's just they're just a set of pictures of the same, similar type of thing. But one that came in today, and I think I went to clear it, and I think it popped open when I cleared it, and it was called they labeled it the magical hour. Okay. So all sunset pictures.
Right.
And I'm like, holy fuck, I got a ton of sunset pictures. And a lot of them they're from the place I used to live in Germantown, because from the balcony where you were there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The pond. Right.
Yeah. That nice little sunset over the pond, especially at this time of year when the leaves are off, you get really nice sunsets.
Right.
But with that and just the places I've been traveling, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, I sat there and watched it, whatever, it's 30 seconds, but I'm like mesmerized by these stupid fucking pictures. It just reminded me of that when I said that fucking moon. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's me. That's the guy I am now.
Yeah.
So, and I'm fine with that. I like that. I like looking at stuff, and I like enjoying and gazing and taking in the beauty that nature has to offer. So,
right.
Yeah. None of you out there like it. Fuck y'all. I think.
Right.
That's 2 weeks in a row, I think, going into a break that I said fuck y'all. So maybe that's going to be my new thing now. Fuck y'all.
All right.
Anyhow,
yeah.
Break time?
Apparently, you said fuck y'all. So we'll be back with more Sober Not Mature right after these fucking messages.
Hey everyone, it's your friends at Sober Not Mature.
Hi there.
Yes, it's both of your friends this time. Hi Mike, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Bill?
I am doing well, but we do have a purpose. We actually usually talk about our one website, but we actually have two websites now. So two websites in one. All right, so everyone knows we still have the podcast website that is www.SoberNotMature.com. And we just launched the store website, so we also have that. Do you know what the website address is on that one, Mike?
Of course I don't.
It's pretty easy, Mike. It's www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. But from the podcast website, you can still hit the store link and get into the web store, or you can access it from our Instagram page through the highlights. We've been posting quite a bit about it, and we'll continue to do that. But do you know what's on the second website, Mike?
Well, there's a store. There are products that you can purchase for you and your loved ones.
Well, Mike, do we still have merchandise?
We have merchandise. Well, we got T-shirts and coffee mugs and all kinds of crap.
And one of the coolest parts, we also do have all the recovery books from Hazelden, which is kind of a big deal.
That is a big deal.
At least for us. So all the books that we read, God Grant Me 24 Hours, the Big Book, the 12 and 12, all of those books are available for sale on our website. And again, that store website is www.sober.
Trying to help, man.
I know you are. You're not helping, though. Okay, now I got to say www.SoberNotMatureShop.com. .com. Visit that today, or visit the podcast website, which is, again, the podcast website. So
www.SoberNotMature.com.
Did you just say sober but not mature?
Yeah, sure. Write that down.
Yeah, like fucking mush mouth or something. All right, everyone. You've suffered enough with this, and we'll get back to what we were talking about previously. So visit the websites, though. All right, everyone. Yeah, welcome back. These fucking messages. I like that.
Right.
See?
Yeah, send that right out to the sponsors.
Yeah, I do. I like it. It's part of me. I was thinking, at one point, I'm like, God, I wonder if it'd be easier because I could do it. I mean, I could drop like a pre-recorded thing in there that says, because I mean, a lot of podcasts do that. Oh, we'll be right back, sort of thing. But I'm like,
Sure.
no, why would we ever want to do that?
I don't know.
It's because it's fun for me, when not knowing what the fuck you're gonna say. So
Right.
I would never want to do that.
I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say either. It's fun for me.
I know, but that's yeah, it is. It's a lot of goddamn fun. All right, so just real quick, I'm gonna tell you. Well, I can tell you two things. So I had a doctor's visit this week. That's one thing I wanna tell you about. But so this trip I got coming up, yeah, it's a week from today. Well, week technically. So a week from today, in about what time is it? Yeah, about 7 hours. I'll be leaving or whatever it is.
All right.
Because the first place I'm going to, so I'm going to Oklahoma City for a week, then Albuquerque. I'll tell you about that. That almost got messed up this week.
Make sure you make a left turn.
Kathy said the same thing. I'm like, I'm not left turning. I am there. So Albuquerque, and then Phoenix for 2 weeks, and then Prescott. And I got to figure out. I think I'm looking at. I think I said this before, but Amarillo I'm looking at, and then maybe somewhere around Branson or Ozarks area on the way back. But anyhow, like it's like 7 weeks of shit. I still got to book the last two, but I mean, it's kind of watching the weather is going down there. It's funny because it gets a little warmer through Oklahoma City and Albuquerque, and then obviously warm in Phoenix, and then colder again in Prescott, a little bit north in Arizona, and then we're gonna go because Kimmy and Brian are gonna be out there, so we're gonna go up to the Grand Canyon one day. I took off whatever that last Monday of January or one of those Mondays in last week of January. We're gonna go up to the Grand Canyon.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's like I say, I mean, a lot of driving again, but I mean, everything is all set up. But then 2 nights ago, literally right as I'm about to go to bed, I get this message from the host for the place I had booked in Albuquerque, and again, it's like 10:15 at night or something like that. I'm just about to go to bed, and she's like, "Oh, by the way," she goes, "just so you know, there's been an issue with the internet service, and guests are saying a little spotty Wi-Fi, blah blah blah. We're going to try to get it fixed, but basically, what they're telling us is that with the holidays, they don't know if they can get it fixed by the time you get out here." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck me," because she's like, "But we have this other place. Take a look at this." And I look at it, and it's a trailer, but nice. Don't get me wrong. Looking at it from the outside and inside, really nice. But I'm like, oh, it's a fucking trailer park. Number one, even though it looks nice, it's a trailer park. God only knows. But then no washer and dryer, which is kind of a big deal for me. The only place that I will accept not having one is when I'm in Osage Beach, where I stayed at that condo, because I like the place. It's comfortable. It's right up at the end of the driveway. It's fine.
Right.
But other than that, I vowed to myself, I'm not doing it. I don't want to run around some random town looking for a laundromat,
Right.
So I told her, I'm like, you know what? I said, I got an early morning. We'll figure it out tomorrow. So back and forth, this and that. She's got like 4 different properties. The rest of them are booked. And I'm like, I can't. Like I said, I want the same amenities that I had and blah, blah, blah. So now I'm like, okay, she's like, well, I'll go ahead and cancel it, get you full refund. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, go ahead and cancel it. Then she comes back later that day. She's like, well, just go in and cancel it. So I look, and I knew better, because based on her policy, if I would have canceled it, it would have given me a 50% refund. Then I would have had to try to chase for the other one. I would have to go through support. It could have been done, but I'm like, I'm fucking with that.
Right.
So I'm telling her, I'm like, can you just go ahead and do this? She's like, you need to contact Airbnb support. So she's really cool up until this point, until now she doesn't want to cancel.
Yeah, until she wants to keep half your fucking money for nothing.
Well, no, she didn't. She told me, she's like, I'll give you a refund, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's telling me to go through Airbnb support.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? This needs to be done in like the next 15 minutes. I got something to do, but you got to do it. Because I said, I have to find another goddamn place.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm doing this on purpose. I'm driving 12 fucking hours the first leg of the trip to get closer, so I don't have to drive that far on the rest of them.
Right.
And I'm like, now I got the Breaking Bad shit I want to do. I'm like, no, I need get this fucking figured out. So finally, I mean, she still hadn't done it. I messaged her. I'm like, this is kind of disappointing. I said, I'll call Airbnb. She's like, I'm on with them now, this and that. So all said and done, it's getting refunded. It's going to take a little bit. I've already got another place booked, thankfully. But yeah, it's this like split level condo in a different area of Albuquerque. So I got it all set. A little bit, it's about $50 or $60 more for the time I'm going to be there. But part of me was like, I mean, again, so the reason I made the point is saying like right before I go to bed, because you know how partially I could be if I wanted to, like going to bed on that, figuring what the fuck am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, kind of going back, and I was pretty proud of myself because I went to sleep right away, because literally using what we do, and just being like, I can't do anything. I can stay up for another 2 hours trying to figure this fucking shit out,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not going to do it. I'll get it done tomorrow. It'll be
Right.
fine. And you know what? I got it done the next day. Little frustration,
Mhm.
but I got it done and I got to sleep, and now I got another place,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the only good thing, I got to look at it this way. The place that I rented, I think it'll be nice. It looks really nice. It's kind of cool. It's like this, I don't know, they put it as like some artist type of thing. You'll see it. I'll take pictures of it. Shit
Sure.
like that, obviously, when I get there, but, looks nice, and has everything I want and need. But the other thing too, I was honestly, all said and done, even to begin with, I thanked her. I said, thank you for letting me know. Because I said, if I would have gotten there, that would have fucked me up. I mean, what am I going to
Right. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. Get in there and you don't have fucking internet to do your job, to pay for the shit.
Yeah, that would have been a fucking problem, just an absolute
Mhm.
fucking problem. But I mean, no, seriously, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be. I not even think I know it's going to be a lot of fun. But just again, a mild hiccup. First time that's happened where somebody's had to cancel on me. But what I was starting to think on her end, I was thinking that, wondering if, and I don't know, if that, I don't know if it looks bad some on her record, if as an Airbnb host. But what ended up
Mm.
happening is, so she called them, told them what the problem is. Airbnb called me to confirm, and she's like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, your host explained everything. You're cool with it being canceled." I said, "Yeah, the internet won't work." He's like, "Yeah, she explained everything. We're all good. They're doing a full refund." So it was all fine. But I think she was worried about getting some sort of
Bad
handle. But
rating. Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking put a bad rating on them. I mean, I thank you.
Right.
For not, just going, fuck them,
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It's again, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, but I am.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Shit. 7 weeks, man. That's
Yeah,
gonna be cool.
yeah. It's I'm leaving the 28th, and I mean, I won't be. I should be back here, I think, on February 15th. I think,
Oh.
and then
All right.
the next weekend I got to go up to Wisconsin. Not have to. I get
Mhm.
to go
You
up to
get to.
Wisconsin.
Yes.
and babysit for Ollie on the 22nd. So Kylie's birthday, and a few
Nice.
days after a year or so.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'll be up in Wisconsin after that. And I think I'm just going to do like an up and back that weekend. I'll probably I mean, all of a sudden it's all going to get paid for. It's all I get shit spread out everywhere as far as how it's getting paid for. It's all good.
Right.
But it's an expensive trip, I mean, all said and done, but I fuck it. I mean, that's the whole point of this shit. That's what it's what I want to do. And
That is the
what it
hobo
is.
lifestyle.
That is brought to you by the modern day hobo. But no, it is. It's what I want to do, and I can afford it. I just needed to, like I said, needed to wait a couple of weeks to book the last two, obviously, because, but just again, the way it's easy enough. I get to spread things out, and I've got it all worked out. I made sure, I literally, I sat down a couple weeks ago, and I wrote down, like, budgeted with everything, with my upcoming pay and what I think I'm going to make in commissions out until like February, and just
Right.
put it all down on paper, scratch and whatever, and making sure, because I'm like, I can't I can't fucking guess,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have I mean, I'm at a level right now where all of this is paid for and all of it can be paid for, but I don't have like, I'll figure it out money.
Right. Standing in the middle of the Grand Canyon, and I don't know what to do next.
Right. And that's the thing too. I mapped out everything I did on Google Maps, where you can like add a stop, and added everything.
Mhm.
So I know in roughly where I'm going to come back. So I know how many miles it's going to be. and
Right.
figured out my gas mileage and all that stuff. I figured fucking everything in there. Because
why
again,
aren't you responsible?
well, but again, I mean, it's for 7 weeks and all this fucking driving. We're talking like $600 or $700 at gas.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's not just like it's $50 here and there. It's it's a lot of fucking money. So yeah, it's responsible, but yeah, it took a little bit of time. Oh, by the way, and that's Bentley. Kylie's home for Christmas, so she's gonna be
Right.
home for a couple of weeks. But yeah, she got home I think shortly after when we were trying to get Rob and Larry set up. But yeah, I'm looking out the window and Papa John's just pulled up. So apparently Kathy and Kylie just ordered pizza. So yeah, now the fucking dogs are barking like crazy. But it's all good. It's all good.
It is.
But I'll tell you about my doctor thing in a minute. Let's get back to more sobriety stuff, okay?
All right.
Don't worry, I'm not dying yet.
All right.
You're like, okay, whatever. Okay. Oh yeah, this is one I wrote down a while ago, and I really wanted to. I've been waiting to read this one, and I kept forgetting. So, this is from A Day at a Time, from a little bit ago, but it was talking about success in one of the readings recently. And again, from the book A Day at a Time, it basically. My question to you, Mike,
Yes.
how do you define success? Let's start that. That's like part one, and then how do you define it today versus when you first got sober? Let's say versus when you were younger. But let's just say in general, like today, how would you define success?
I define success as peace and serenity, and all the rest of it can fuck off. No, seriously. I mean, yeah, I'm relatively successful, because the bills are, do I have everything I want? Fuck no. But I got a roof over my head, the bills are paid, and I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm successful, far more successful than I ever thought I could be. And that's pretty goddamn cool. That's how I define it, and again, not hurting anybody. The people that are in my life, I seem to be relatively happy around me. Wow.
Just fucking with you.
Relatively. I'm not fucking insane.
Oh, wait. Okay, relatively. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the relatively part. Got it. We're good. Go on.
I'm not making anybody miserable around me. How about that?
Check.
Cool.
Check. I'll co-sign that.
Yeah, that's success to me. Yeah, would I like to have a better car? No, I like my house a lot. Better car, more money in the bank. Sure, that'd be great, but it's not going to make me any happier. Well, I probably would, but nah, not really. I'm pretty fucking. I'm as happy as this old miserable bastard can be, and that's pretty fucking good.
So how about would there be a difference between like what you define as success now versus when you first got sober, or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, man, pulling my pants up.
You know what? Yeah, let's go back. Listen to episode 3 if you don't understand that reference.
Right. Yeah, I mean that was a goddamn success, waking up in the morning not completely miserable. Yeah, yes, it was little tiny things then. It still is. It's still little stuff. But yeah, I never thought I'd get to where I'm at, and that's cool, man. It doesn't matter. Yeah, success back then was, not killing the motherfucker in the bunk bed next to me. That was success. Yeah, staying at the fucking Keating Center another goddamn day. That was a success. Not picking up a drink. Hey, that one's still today. Yes, of course it's changed. The peace and the serenity are a hell of a lot deeper today than they were back then. Which is, yeah, I'm a goddamn success. I'm a king of the world.
Yeah, and I think we were talking about that maybe a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about that early sobriety thing, and I think it was along the lines of whatever we hoped we have or thought we would have or envisioned or whatever the case is, and I mean I mean, God, when we first went over to the 3/4 house, and even when we first got into the 3/4 dorm, just for the
Mhm.
regular dorms,
Right.
um, being able to be out, until 11
11
a.m.
o'clock, 11 p.m.
Which, yeah, I mean, and again, I mean, all stuff being, little things, but
Yep.
like I said, when I was at, that first job I had, that first real job, when
Uh-huh.
I that first day when I got an hour lunch and I'm sitting there eating my lunch out for a fucking hour,
Right.
just sitting there eating for an hour. I'm getting paid a decent wage again at that point, and
Right.
I mean, I had more money then than I knew what to do. Percentage wise, I had more money
Mhm.
then than I
Oh,
do now.
yeah.
I mean, far
Right.
more money.
Oh, absolutely.
But again, these things go up into, I guess, to go back to the success part. I love the fact that you just said peace and serenity, because
Mm.
I mean, that is what it's all about. And
Yep.
and like you said, the people around us, and that, I joked about it a couple of weeks ago. If you want to know about my program, ask my ex-wives,
Uh-huh.
ask the people around me, ask the people
Yep.
close to me, because those are the people, if my recovery is fucked up,
Yep.
I probably don't know it,
Mhm.
more than likely I'm not going to know it, but somebody else will,
Well, we have a bit of history of lying to ourselves and
Right.
convincing ourselves that things are okay when they're certainly not.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It is one of those things that, in these days, same thing, with the money thing, having a little bit more money, having a little bit more of, or of whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
granted, yeah, I mean, if I was just, leveled up a little bit from what I'm making now, I could go more places and do more things, but I mean,
Mm.
it's not like I have it bad where I'm sitting here at Kathy's house,
No.
It's not that I'm like, oh God, I have to be there
Mhm.
for, the only time I get anxious, not because of where I'm at, but it's where I want to be.
Right.
And that's only because of things I wanna see and be a part of. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with where I'm, laying my head here.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. Yeah, it's not. And I look around at, like we had talked about, people. You see people in, from high school. You see people from this and that. You all see all the
Mhm.
social media fucking garbage, and
Right.
whatever the case is, and that's what it is. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. Like, for instance, you love your house. I don't want a
Mhm.
house right now.
Right. Right.
I have no desire. If somebody said you can have this beautiful house, but you have to stay here, wherever here is, I'm like,
Mhm.
keep your fucking house. I
Right.
don't want it. I don't want it right now.
Yeah.
But do you see that? Do you see the guest?
No, yeah, look at that. I wasn't looking at my screen, but now I am.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
What the hell?
It wasn't there before. So I wonder if they're trying to
I
fucking figure this shit out again.
don't know. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see if somebody pops in here while we're doing
Yeah,
this.
if they do, they do.
Yeah.
But yeah. So but I don't know. I mean, it was an interesting.
And now they're gone.
But it was just an interesting thing to me. That just the idea of, because I really didn't know. I don't, if somebody said, at the time that I wrote that down, or put that in my notes,
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, success, what society deems as
Mm.
success, I want no part of,
Nope.
for the most part,
Right.
I mean, granted, I mean, I'm successful. I suppose could be defined, like you said, the people, and be a good person, and corner of the
Mhm.
world, and all those sort of things. I think that anyone could agree, hopefully,
Mm.
that that's being a successful human being, if nothing
Right.
else. But everything else, man, fucking chasing around, and
Mm.
I don't know. I just I'm really happy with, if nothing else, I'm, like you said, comfortable with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is weird.
Which is fucking amazing. Yeah.
Amazing and really fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, like, clearly not our natural state.
Right. Right. Yeah, and it's just, like I said, I had a couple of people every once in a while have said to me, with this whole traveling thing, and I think, well, again, Heather, our friend Heather from Cleveland,
Mhm.
had asked me a couple of questions about whatever it was, a month or so, a couple months ago, and
Right.
she's like, "Oh, I'm just almost not jealous," but she said, "I'm just, I watch you doing all these travels. It's something I want to do," and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. And however I mentioned it, and I said something about, about work or whatever, and she's like, oh, you're still working. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm still working.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I think to begin with, if I'm not, she was saying, she's like, what you guys have built with the podcast or whatever. I don't know if she thought that we built something that was self-sustaining, but it's not at
No.
all. And that's the one thing. So quick side note, we'll have to talk about this probably at some other point, but I was talking to Kathy about this the other night, and I'm like, yeah, we might have to have a business meeting at some point, because just like this, like our web store, for instance, I mean, it's fine. I like the t-shirts and all the Sober Not Mature stuff and whatever, and
Right.
that is what it is. But the like coffee, for instance, I mean, we didn't so much coffee this year. I don't think it paid for itself.
Right.
Look at all the recovery books. I think we sold one book, this entire year. And again, all these things, it's nice to have up there, but there's an expense. There's probably, I don't know, there's at a minimum $2,000 worth of money that's spent on a yearly basis with this thing, which is not a big deal. And I'm not saying it's a complaining part of it.
Right.
But just this is not a moneymaker. I mean, you and I know that, but
Yeah.
because again, Mike and I literally at one point when we sat down and we
We're
set up this
certainly
whole,
not shaking it.
yeah, when we set up and it did this whole business thing, and we Sober Not Mature is a business, and it's me, it's Mike, it's our sister Kathy,
Right.
and I remember you saying at one point, you said to me, you're like, you're doing all the fucking work. She's like, we make a lot of money, you give me 10% of it.
Right.
Have you gotten your check yet, Mike?
I have not.
and once again, let's just recap here. That was 10% of profits, I think, right? Right?
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yes. You haven't gotten a check, you haven't gotten a bill either. I mean, it's just,
Right.
and not that I should have said that. I didn't mean that. That came out really, really bad. I didn't mean that.
No.
That was a complete joke, because I didn't mean
I
it that
took
way.
it that way.
Okay, good. As soon as I said that, I'm like, fuck, I didn't mean that. But these little things that, I mean, a lot of these things that we're spending money on were these little brainchilds that I had anyhow, and most of them didn't fucking work, and it's fine,
Right.
But the thing of it is that all this stuff makes me happy too.
Yes.
I love the fact, I love our websites, even if this shit doesn't sell, someday they might.
Right.
The podcast website, I mean, that's a given. I mean, we don't have to have it, but but then you've got little things that go along with that. You got the domains, you got the emails, you got all these different things.
Right.
Nothing wrong, because again, you take $2,000 over 12 months, it's not a big deal. But my whole point with Heather was, first of all, I laughed when she thought that we were self-sustaining. So that's number one. But I'm like, no, fuck. I said, I'm doing all this stuff. I'm working. I get to work remote. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, that makes me feel so much better. She goes, I was kind of judging myself and where I'm at in life. And I'm like,
please judge your life against ours. You will feel just fine.
Yeah. And I'm like, do not do that. Because then she's like, I'm trying to do this. I think I'm getting my house paid off in this number of years. I'm like, you keep doing that,
Right.
I'm like, fuck, I don't have anything, and I'm just out spending the money that I have on doing this stuff,
Yeah, I mean, I'll be dead before my house is paid off, so that's fine. Right. 30-year more. You gave me a 30-year mortgage, suckers.
But the point of it is that goes back to the whole success thing. She's doing what she wants that makes her really happy, especially with her son and the traveling they do.
Right.
I'm doing what I'm doing that makes me happy. You're doing what you're doing. That, I guess, really to kind of sum it all up, that's what the success is. Each one of us has to do what we need or want to make us happy. Right?
Yeah, right. I'm, sitting on my ass and not going anywhere is what makes me happy.
Right. And literally, like I said, I mean, I get antsy doing it. I never used to fucking go anywhere, But I mean, that's the point. I think that's why I'm enjoying this so much. And it has nothing to do with I had I think a wonderful childhood. Yeah. Mom and our dad, a little fucked up. My dad's alcoholic and this and that. They had their moments, okay?
Sure.
But wonderful memories about us going camping as a family and doing some things like that. We never did these. We never went out to these national parks or any of these places like I'm going now. Which again, I didn't know what I was missing.
Sure.
So I wasn't like, I'm like, God, I wish I would have done that. We were a camping family. That's what we did. It was fine. But now I get to do the reason I'm enjoying it so much, I think, is because I never got to do this shit before, you know? Now, 56 years old, like a fucking kid going, oh, look at that sunset. And I get to go see where meth was cooked on TV.
Yay.
Yeah.
I already saw that in real life.
Right. Yeah, it's did I tell you I'm watching Breaking Bad again?
No.
Yeah, it was just
preparing for your trip.
Yeah, I mean, literally, I'm like, it's just all this different stuff. When I figured out I could do it, I'm like I can start watching. I can start seeing some of these places again. And Albuquerque, because a lot of that show literally was shot out there.
Right.
And I'm like, it's kind of beautiful. I wish I was there longer. It's only, I basically get one day.
Mhm.
That's Sunday that I'll get to do it. Maybe Saturday if I get there right on time. But
Right.
either way, it is what it is. So
Could do the Mark Maron tour too. I mean, that's where he grew up.
Yeah, I knew that, but I
Went
don't
to high
know.
school and shit there. Yeah.
Yeah, he talks about it a lot. And he said, when he's back there, he said that recently when he was back there, he was visiting his dad,
Mhm.
and he was just saying, he goes, he goes, yeah, he goes, I really like it here. He goes, was he talking about moving back there? I think ultimately,
Yeah, for a
or something
while.
like that?
Yeah. He's one of us. He talks a lot of shit.
Yeah, talked about moving to New York, and he's like, I'm just gonna be one of those old men out there
Right.
complaining or carrying around something or blah blah blah. It's really funny. Okay. So 24 hours. Let me see if this even makes sense. Nothing can be too great. Nothing can be too great to be overcome, or if not overcome, then used. Okay. This was a little while ago, if I'm looking at it on my sheet, but this is from the 24-hour book. So let me repeat
Sounds
that.
like it.
Nothing can be too great to be overcome, or if not overcome, then used.
Right.
How do you decipher all them fucking words?
Well, I mean, basically, if you can't beat it, then learn something from it. That's how I take it. Right. I mean, yeah, some shit it takes a while and it's hard and whatever, but you do overcome it. And there's some shit that you cannot overcome. So you need to learn from it, like maybe alcoholism.
Right.
Nope, can't beat it, but did learn a few things. Yeah, that's pretty simple, right? Some shit you can overcome, some shit you can't. If you can't, you better fucking learn something from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is kind of a lot, a lot of words for that. If you can't beat them, join them, type of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, now not join them. If you can't beat it, learn something.
Oh yeah, learn from it. Yeah,
right.
Join it. Yeah, see, that would be the best.
Right. Yeah. Tried that, didn't work.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what we're trying to do. But yeah, and there is. I mean, God, I can think of I don't know how many goddamn things, the same things we were talking about just a little bit ago. These things that pop up that, there's always something new that we don't know or haven't experienced and don't know how to deal with, sober. And like you said, I mean, it's if if you run into something that fucks you up a little bit and you don't try to learn from it, either overcome it if you can't learn from it, then you're us, man, we're fucking done, right? I mean, it's
right. Toast.
Toast. But yeah, it's these challenges, life on life's terms, I think somebody said once, and all those sort of things. But I don't know. That was just one of the ones I kind of randomly came across. This was one other one I saw this was from a long, long time ago, because I think I heard this on either, maybe it was from one of our followers. So this goes way back. We haven't talked about, or even, I don't think, mentioned the word normie in a while. But this is kind of an interesting look at this, but I wanted to kind of get your opinion. So I think it was one of our followers, and again, from a while ago, when the individual first got sober, they said they looked at that term, kind of deciding on what they were. Am I a normie, or am I this, or am I that? So when the person, first got sober, the fact that this person was not a normie made them feel like they were, to begin with, almost like it was a negative, like they were less than by not being a normie. I mean, I don't know that we've talked about that specifically. I've never felt that way, but did you ever feel that way, figuring that you were, I don't know, less than because you weren't normal?
No,
or whatever is
no.
perceived.
I thought I was better than because I wasn't a normie.
Right. I forgot about a couple of weeks ago. You drank better than everyone else.
That's
God, who
right.
went-
God damn it. Yeah, of course I'm better than a normal person. Fuck. Who wants to be normal? Look at me. Um, no, but I mean, I do understand it, right? You know, I have this affliction, yeah, a disease, whatever. Yes, I have an allergy to drugs and alcohol. I'm not a normal person. I don't metabolize them like a normal person does. Yeah, I no, never less than, probably better than, and now no, neither. I'm not better or worse than a normal person. I'm a little better.
and definitely more humble.
Right, of course, I'm the humblest.
Well, and I'm trying to think to begin with because I mean, well, it's been what over the last I don't know what year and a half that I
Mm,
opened up on social media,
sure.
and I didn't do it because of there's a lot of reasons, but to begin with, I think probably when I don't even think probably when I first got sober and stuff like that, I wouldn't have. I think if I was in a circumstance to say it openly to people who were not part of us, not
Hmm.
us.
Right.
I think I would have felt not shame, but definitely would have felt different, maybe a little bit
Hmm.
less than to begin with,
Sure.
and
Right.
maybe, and I'm trying to think it probably even goes
Stigmatized.
yeah, and I think not just even just because of the stigma. I think it even goes back to the point where, like when Kathy was, Kathy and Mom were taking me out the detox, and
Hmm.
I was asking Kathy, I'm like, "What did Mom say?" Because I'm like, "Oh, I turned out to be like Dad, and I saw what a disappointment he was to her, and all those
Right.
sort of things, and now I was that person. So maybe,
Hmm.
and I wonder if, and I think it probably was part of that. I saw the extreme negative of what being an alcoholic was and could be,
Hmm.
and now I was that,
Yeah.
so I don't know if no,
Yeah.
and I know I mean now
Right.
I'm like I'm fine with it, but I think to begin
Hmm.
with I probably felt that little bit of
Sure.
a less than these days. And again, I don't I'm more open about it now, but
Hmm.
I still don't stand on top of a roof and just yell out
Right.
who I am, and everyone I meet walk up and, "Hey, Bill,
Hi.
alcoholic. Hey,
Hey.
Bill, alcoholic. Hey, how you doing over there? I don't drink.
Yeah.
You know why? I'm a raging fucking alcoholic. Hey, got 14 years though. Rock on.
Right.
Have a great day."
I'll burn your fucking house down.
Yeah. Hey, you fuck with me and I start drinking, you're fucking done. Hey, have a great day. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never been. I've had. I think I've had. I know I have. Self-esteem issues over the years. When I've
Hmm.
been, in my younger years and things like that. I've certainly found myself in the last, 14 and a half or almost 15 years. But
Hmm.
there's still that part of me. I can have
Sure.
it within me. I mean, I don't dwell on it as much. But again, this goes back to the fucking revelation I had, whatever it was, a couple of months ago,
Mm.
that my base point is fucking I'm a piece of shit, and I got it
Hmm.
with these mood swings, that I have,
Right.
that I in literally 2-3 months ago. So it was over the summer while we were doing this
Hmm.
that I finally clicked. I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, I'm
Mm.
down here. This is me, you know.
Right.
The reason I have fucking mood swings is because I need to pick my fucking ass up all the goddamn time.
Right.
I gotta walk up the escalator every goddamn time.
Hmm.
It's just
Right.
just dumb.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, when your baseline is liar, cheat, and thief, selfish, and self-centered, self-will, run riot. Yes, yes, that is our baseline. So,
Right.
yeah, when we do take that honest look at ourselves, but again, like any inventory, man, we got to remember the good shit too. Otherwise, we're fucked with that as well. So yes, we have to remember what pieces of shit we are, but we also have to remember, you know what? I'm still doing the work and I'm still trying, and that makes me a better person. My actions don't reflect what a piece of shit I am. and that's kind of what all this is, right? I act as if. That's my favorite one. I still do. I mean, I am comfortable in the fact that I'm always going to be a liar, cheat, and a thief, but like I say, man, I'm a liar that tells the truth. I'm a thief that doesn't steal, and I'm a cheat that plays by the rules, and that's fine. It's what I am. It's who I am. As long as I don't allow myself to let those instincts that the fourth step talks about fucking run my life. I let these principles run my life. I'm okay. I got a shot. I'm not a piece of shit, even though deep down I am, because that's what I am. Selfish, self-centered, want to feel good all the time, and fuck you. That's who I am. But I don't act that way anymore. And so, yeah. So then that's all that matters. Like I've said a million times, man, my thoughts are still all fucked up, but my actions aren't. And that's all
Right.
that matters.
Well, and it goes back to the we're not active alcoholics anymore. You are not. You're still a piece of shit. You're just not an active piece of shit.
Right. Same thing. Exact same shit.
Which is, as soon as you said that, I'm like, that's awesome, man. We're both pieces of shit. We're just not active. We're not active pieces of shit.
Yep. I'm an alcoholic. I'm just the sober one. Right. Yep.
Well, and that goes back to the whole point of, when anytime somebody says I'm recovered, no, you're not. Well, I mean, okay, if you want to be, that's fine. That's recovered.
Fine. Yeah.
I'm not.
Nah. Nope.
I got to get up every fucking day and read some fucking books. And I got to put these principles in my life every fucking day. I got to be a decent fucking person.
Yep.
Refer back to these goddamn steps.
Yep.
Do this stupid thing every fucking week.
Yep.
I mean, I have to do all these things, and I gotta work every day to be like, okay, you're doing well. You could do it. But the funny part when you're talking about, when you mentioned inventory, once again, it's been a long time since I've done my 10 step and had any even semi-negative stuff. And I mean, I've said it before. Work is challenging. There's part of me that I would I've been around the collection business long enough. I know what the deal is, but at this point in my life, sometimes it'd be nice not to have to, fucking struggle for income on a day. Not struggle for it, but it'd be nice.
Work.
It'd be nice to not have to work so fucking hard to to make my money. But you know what? It affords me to be able to do what I do in this next level. And quite honestly, even if it takes whatever it is, if it takes a couple more months to work up to this next level, I will give that level, 6 months. If I'm still, to a point where if I'm not physically happy with what I'm doing, then I'll casually start looking for something else, because that goes back to it too. I'm not unhappy with my job. I think I could be, again, back to this peace and serenity shit that you were talking about.
Right.
I don't mean I fuck around when I said that.
I know. Yeah.
Back to this peace and serenity. I'm not completely at peace with my job, and I'm not completely serene with my job, but it's an end to my means of doing what I want to do right now.
Yep.
And I don't hate it. This is the first job that I've had since I've been sober, and I'll be there a year coming up in February. It's coming up on a year. The first job I've had since I've been sober that I haven't at least casually started looking for a job after the first 6 or 8 months.
Right.
First one in 14 fucking years,
Right.
And again, I didn't have bad jobs. I just wasn't, I knew it wasn't for me,
Right.
But the thing of it was, the other jobs, all these things aside, the fact that I got to work in this and that, I mean, everyone's got to work, fine. But I mean, the things, I've got to do this job every day to do what it is. It's kind of a grind. It's kind of minuscule. It's whatever. I'm not above it, but it is what it is, But this is the first job I've had that's had true foreseeable growth.
Right.
And even companies like when the company I worked for in Madison, I loved it there. But once that one manager came in, I got shut down, as far as my growth. I had no place to go. None.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's when I was more, 10 fucking years ago, I was all fucking corporate in my head. I wanted to grow. Now I just want to grow to the point to one level up, make some more fucking money. So I don't have to, so that I can have, not do whatever I want money, but a little bit more,
Yep. Yep. Never going to have fuck you money, but I'll take a little fuck it money.
Yeah, I don't, who knows? I mean, never say never, but I'm not banking on the fact that I'm ever going to have, just fuck you money. I don't think that's going to happen, but I could have, hey, fuck me money.
Yeah, right.
I could have that kind of money, but like, oh, wow, look at that. Fuck me. All right. So real quick, I'll tell you about my, since we're wrapping up here. You want to hear about drug seeking behavior again? No, so I had I've talked before about sinus infections. I don't get them that often, but when I have one or I'm getting one, I know what it is,
Right.
That's the only cold. And I thought about it the other day. Literally, I have not been sick at all this calendar year, which is crazy to me. So I usually get at least a mild cold, but I haven't,
Right.
which is surprising to me. But I felt it coming on, the stuffiness. I felt it. I mean, sinus pressure, whatever. I didn't have it the full thing, but it was coming, and I'm like, I'm leaving here in a matter of, at that time, whatever it was last Sunday that I got on the appointment. I'm like, oh, in 2 weeks I'm leaving. I got to get this fucking taken care of. You know,
Right.
I can't be traveling and end up with a sinus infection trying to fucking deal with it. So I called the doctor. And I'm like, I've said this before, and it's a fucking antibiotic. So I know the words to say to get an antibiotic. But I also know my body, and I know what the thing is.
Right.
If I get a sinus infection, it's once every couple of years, and when I get one, I fucking know it. You know.
Right.
So get on with this one doctor, do the whole thing, $45 for the $45 for the copay. And I'm waiting 10 minutes. Guy pops on, tell him the whole thing, sinus pressure, this. And there was a slight language barrier with the gentleman. He's nice enough to begin with. And but slight language barrier. And then he's like, blah, 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 I'm going to prescribe. I think he said the word prescribe this. I'm like, well, wait a second. What is that? And he said, basically, he goes, I'm going to send you my notes about what to do. And I'm like, well, what am I doing? You know, I said, are you calling it a prescription? He's like, no. He goes, you're going to treat it as a cold. You're going to let it sit for a number of days. And I'm like, wait a second. I said, just let back up here. You know, I said, I want to ask a couple of questions. And I started asking him, I said, here's what the deal is. And here's what happens. I use sinus spray on almost a daily basis because I've been told to, because that's what prevents my sinus infection, so you don't get buildup. And I said, it's been since I started to get the symptoms. Today is day 9. I've been told to wait 7 to 10 days. Today's day 9.
Right.
And he's like, if you don't like my recommendation, talk to another doctor, and end of the video. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Because at this point, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, go give me my antibiotic or whatever.
Right.
Fuck you. I'm trying to talk to this guy and ask questions. So go back in. And at this point now, it's like 45 minutes into it, right? You know, and go back in, try to do an appointment. Or no, I'm like a half hour in. And they're like, oh, you just had an appointment. You can't do another one, but you can do a consultation. I'm like, fuck. So get on. You got to hit this number and you call and blah, blah, blah. So another 15, 20 minutes, I get on with this person with a consultation, right? So go through all this different stuff, and I tell her, I'm like, I understand where any doctor is coming from, you know, with the way society is and stuff like that. I understand there's drug seekers out there, but tell me somebody who's gotten high off of, you know, an antibiotic. I'm like, I get it, but I said, I also know me. I said, if he doesn't want to prescribe it, I'm like, I don't know what to say, but I'm like, I've already waited the time frame. I've done exactly what I've been told to do by physicians.
Yes.
She's like, okay, I'll put you back in the queue. I understand. I'll put you out with another doctor, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. So again, wait my 10 minutes, get on with the doctor. Then he's like, okay, verify the address, this, that. And he said, so you're in Wisconsin? I said, no, I'm in Indiana. He goes, well, you gotta be on with a doctor that's licensed in Indiana. I'm like, the lady rescheduled for me. I did it when I signed in.
Right.
Home address, Wisconsin, but you got to tell them where you physically are. So if they have to prescribe something. So he's like, and I had to pay another copay going in. So now I'm $90 in an hour into this, right? And then he goes, I said, I told the guy, I'm like, is there any way, can you put me out with another doctor? He goes, I can't. But he goes, I won't charge you for it. He goes, I'm going to cancel it so you won't be charged. I'm like, oh, okay. So back into the consultation, somebody else on the phone. She's like, okay, so you're in Indiana, blah, blah. Finally, all said and done, get the last doctor on the phone. And I said, I laid out everything that happened. He goes, I could see all the other notes. He asked me a couple of questions, specifics about whatever I was feeling. He goes, I'll subscribe the antibiotic. And I said, thank you. He goes, not a problem. He goes, if you've already done all the things that you should have done in the last whatever. And I said, that's what I was trying to ask the doctor to begin with.
Right.
So then I tried to get my second copay back, right? Because I got charged by the first guy that hung up on me. And the second guy, so again, $90. So customer service, this, that, and the other thing. So again, slight language barrier. And this was the funniest one. It's like, okay, we'll put it in. I see what happened, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to request a refund, and you should get your refund in 4 to 5 days. And I said, did you say 4 to 5 days? She's like, no, up to 45 days. And I said, really? I said, it's $45. It's not going to break me. But I'm like, really? And she said it could be, and I said, "Oh my God!" Blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm not mad." I said, "This whole thing has just been." I said, "I'm 2 hours into this whole thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been just this fucking comedy of just fucking errors." And then she's like, "No, I completely understand." And she's like, "Okay." She goes, "Anything else I can do for you before we hang up?" And I said, "Yeah, don't take 45 days to send me my money back." And I swear to God, she laughed. And she's like, I promise you, I'll make a note. And literally 2 days later, it was refunded. It was so
Nice.
funny. Yeah, and it's again, and the only person I got I got mad at was a guy that hung up on me. I'm literally I was sitting there. I'm like, "You're," and I get it. It's volume. That's the only way these doctors are making any money doing it. And literally before I'm talking like the second after he hung up on me, I got an email with his notes. So it's like, okay, email number 1 goes out to this dick. Email number 2 goes out to this dick. He probably didn't want to take the extra 5 minutes that he would have to take to write a script.
Right.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. But you know what? Guess what? I've been on the antibiotics since Sunday, and I'm good. I'm fine. It did it. It actually worked.
Right.
I don't have a cold or a sinus infection anymore. Imagine that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just thought that would be kind of funny because I suppose going back to behavior from people like us, I could have fucking went nuts on these fucking people.
Of course.
It's in my nature. It's in my blood.
Right.
But yeah, and again, it's just I was thinking about it as I'm doing it. As the guy hung up on me, I'm like, God, the guy's treating me like a fucking drug seeker. It's a goddamn antibiotic. It's a box of Cillin. I'm asking for fucking Vicodin.
Right.
Ooh, my back hurts. Doc, it hurts when I do this.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, all right. Anything else? You all good?
I think we're all good.
Okay. Well, it's your turn then, motherfucker.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out and do something nice for somebody else this week, and pretend you're Santa Claus. All right. Now, from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time till the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. And now, it's time, kids. It's time. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying, "You cannot fuck off past here." Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever. Ho, ho, ho.
A whole bunch of hoes. That was good. That was good of you too. Pretend like you're Santa Claus. See, bit. Throwing some spirit out there for people. Thinking of people other than yourself. I like that. So
try.
Yeah, but as you were doing the wrap up, literally, I know I kind of joke around sometimes saying, "Hey, we did some good work tonight." Whatever. I'm like, anymore. I have no fucking idea if anything we say anymore makes any sense to anyone or helps anyone. So, just curiosity. If anyone out there is listening, on handful of people or whatever that listen, just give us a thumbs up or something like that. Are the words that are coming out of our mouth making any sense? I didn't want to say they're helping people. Are they making any sense? Having fun? You're laughing at me because I'm a drug seeker? Laughing at Mike because he hates, he hates the holidays.
Hates Christmas. Bah, humbug.
Yeah. Well, the meme with the whole Grinch, they're like, the Grinch didn't hate Christmas. He hated people, which is understandable.
Right.
So give it a little thumbs up and, one of the win column for the Grinch. So,
yes.
All right, man. Again, I have no idea what we talked about, if it makes any sense or if it's good work or bad work or just nonsense for an hour and 32 minutes. But
it's work. It's all that matters.
It is. We're doing the fucking work.
That's right.
All right, man. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.